Good morning, everyone. President of Armenia, Armեն Սարգսյանը, First Ladies, Your Excellencies, my lords, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. My name is Yalda Hakim and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies over the next 2 days.
It's time to turn the page. Our ability to learn is limited. It is naive to think that through creativity and collaboration, we can expand our minds. Because we are uniquely human,
it's time to turn the page. Unlearn community.
This year, we've made an effort to make the summit experience as inclusive as possible.
Congratulations, Larry. Can I now call you on stage to receive your award?
And to present the Wise Prize for Education, may I please invite Her Highness Moza bint Nasser, founder of the Education Above All Foundation. Thank you so much, Your Highness.
Your Highness, Your Excellencies, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege to be here and to speak to all of you. And I would like to start with thanks. Thanks to Her Highness for inviting me to be one of the 3,000 today. And to come here, not only to talk, but first of all to listen and to learn. Because education is forever and for everybody. And I'm looking forward to learning and coming out today from this door a bit wiser man. Thank you very much, Your Highness. I would like, especially with a warm heart, to thank Your Highness for global visionary leadership. And these 3 words mean a lot, because education is the most important part of our life, our activity, our humanity. So thank you again. And I would like to also thank Your Highness for the possibility to visit the Qatar Foundation 2 days ago. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was just the proof of the global visionary leadership and a truly international, wonderful, future-looking place. But the most important, I thank you for offering me to visit the library. I really enjoyed the library. And I went there and I found myself in absolutely visionary new building that has a meaning. Because a part of that building, whoever from these 3,000 wise ladies and gentlemen have not visited the library, I suggest them to go. Because the part of that which looks like archaeological sort of underground contains 65,000 manuscripts that are telling the story, the culture of thousands of years, not only of Qatar, but the whole area and humanity. And the ground floor is millions of books telling the story of humanity today and the whole richness of what we have, science and technology and culture. But also it has the aspects of tomorrow. It's not only the digitized books that you can have access, it's not only the whole environment that you can enjoy living there, not just coming, borrowing or reading, but just living there. And with my wife, we thought, I think we have to come back and just spend hours living there in that. But the one thought that came to me while I was there, that I thought that this place, I will describe it as a time gate. You know, we're used to this nice stories, science fiction about stargates, traveling the universe through the gates. But the library is a time gate that connects us with our past at the time, so you can travel into the past of hundreds and thousands of years. And through the same library, you can look at the future and embrace it and think about the future, where to go. So, Your Highness, your library is a time gate. And of course, when you are confronting the time gate, you start thinking about the time and what we are doing and where we are now. I think the time gate is fascinating because you stand on your own time today. You can look to the past, you can look to the future, but you are here. And this wonderful piece of video that was presented here was exactly showing where we are today. We are worldwide a little bit confused. We don't know where to go. There are so many questions, there are so little answers to what is happening in this world. It looks unpredictable, it looks uncontrollable. So what do we do next? The answer was there already. But let me make a small contribution from my side. And again, I will use the time gate. I'll take you back another, let's say, 100, 150 years back in the history. Because history has this pattern of repeating it. 100, 150 years ago, the humanity was using the great ideas and theories that created by people that Isaac Newton and others. So classical mechanics and science was controlling everything. We had the answers to everything. So science were comfortable, they could describe the whole thing, the universe, the planets. But then occasionally situations and research started when especially they started going into the deep in the universe, or deep in the smaller scale in the atom and elementary particles. It looked like we have a confused situation. The classical mechanics couldn't explain what was happening. It was absolutely confused. And when I compare the story 150 years ago in science with today, this is much bigger on scale, but it's the same story. And I think scientists were confused. Of course, most of the scientists were also teachers at big universities that were confused as well what to teach to their children because there are so many questions unanswered. And the answer came to itself. The human genius in the name of Albert Einstein, Paul Dirac, Heisenberg, people that created the theory of relativity and the quantum mechanics. It's not just a theory or a discovery, it's something that basically changed the whole approach, the whole philosophy and the logic how to approach things. But things that could be described as simultaneous in the smaller scale, in quantum world, you have to change your whole thinking. But the moment you change your thinking, you embrace the quantum world, then everything becomes harmonious. You can explain things. Not only explain things, you can harvest on this new knowledge. And the next 100 years, the world, the societies, the countries, we all were harvesting what was created with the new thinking of the quantum world. I think that's why we can fly to the space, that's why we can have our mobile phones, that's why we have new health units starting from MRIs and so on. So thanks to the new thinking and approach to nature and the rules of nature. So 100 years ago, we had the same similar situation. Confused, didn't know what to do, more than 100 years ago. Then a new approach, the human genius, put everything intact. When I think about the world today, it's a much more larger scale of a confusion. So, what do we do next? So I will use again the time gate. So let me look what's happening in the future together with you. I'm not going to go in the future 100 years or 50 years, even the one that is near to us, 5 years or 10. The world that we're going to embrace, or we're embracing too, is absolutely different. And there, when I look through the time gate, I see a big slogan, "Welcome to the new quantum world." Or what does it mean here? It is the world that individual power matters. Let's look at our children today and tomorrow. They are born and they are using the first way they interact with nature, with the world, is not only mechanical or material, it's also virtual. They start living two lives. One the material one and the other one is the virtual life. That small unit, which is the smartphone, is a part of their life. The first way of communication is not the letters, it's an icon. We go back 2,000 years to the Egyptian icons, hieroglyphs, because they find their way just pushing it in, and they find out that the book, the first book really is the iPad, and that normal book for them is a sort of a broken iPad. It doesn't work. You try to push things and to get what you want, it doesn't work. The healthcare will change. Because with the artificial intelligence and quantum physics and quantum discoveries coming in, we'll be able to read completely, very fast, our DNA, the results of the full body MRI. The whole idea of healthcare will change. We'll live longer. We'll fight our diseases. The way we run our industries will be different. Because making a car, I mean, you need an infrastructure, a nation where the workforce is low, engineers, but the new electric cars, they have 10, 15, 20 times less spare parts. So your life will be different. We'll go to a shopping mall because that's the place you go for entertainment, for having time, for going to cinema, for going to restaurant, but in the meantime you order a car. And the car will be done by two robots for you according to your space. So where is the human activity? The human activity is the creativity to design this, to control this. So we are getting enormous power for an individual. The individual which is interconnected now. We are already quantum in a sense that our communications are with the speed of light. We're already quantum that because each of us is walking the street, having in the pocket the world knowledge. The whole idea is, the whole question is, can you use it? Can you make something nice or important, creative from that knowledge? Because the knowledge is in your pocket, tomorrow it will be in your skin, with a direct connection to your brain. So it changes the whole atmosphere of industry, because you don't need only engineers or the infrastructure, because the idea or the culture of startup becomes so powerful. The power of individual creativity. That is the quantum world that we're going to live. And we're started already living in that world. So the question comes, and of course, quantum becomes a part of our politics as well. As we all know, politics, entertainment were always apart, together living. But this is a new world where both entertainment is becoming interactive, and politics is interactive as well. And I think watching the Game of Thrones is fascinating. But the biggest entertainment in the world today is football. But there's something which is bigger, it is electronic football. Because people like more to watch other people playing, and they take the part in that game. So interactive interconnection becomes the full body of our life, including entertainment and also politics as well. So what and how to educate our children? What is the image that we'd like to see? I don't have the right to cover or come up with a comprehensive answer to this question, because that is why we are here. That's why I am here, to learn from you. But let me share with you some ideas. Of course, in the future, if I look again through the time gate, of course, the next generation should be healthy. Next generation is to be healthy, first of all, physically healthy. They have to be also, it's not only, some people say you are what you eat, or you are what do this or that. It's a comprehensive altogether. The next important thing is that in order to educate people, we have to accept giving them the knowledge, the way to attract them here. I think education has to have one important function. I'm asking to add to it. Education has this great mission to find the talent. Because every child is born with a talent, maybe one or two. I mean, you cannot educate Bach writing music. He was born with that. But you have to create the right environment and to support the talent. So every child, be that a carpenter, and I take this opportunity to congratulate with a great achievement, Larry. So this is as great as the music of Bach and or Beethoven. And so the task is probably to find the talent, and it's not easy because it's not easy. We all know, even in our families, to find it needs passion, it needs love. It's not hard work to find that. So that's one aspect that I think it's important for children to find their talent. The second one that I would like to add to your discussion is that even if you are successful, you are talented, you are powerful, you should not ever forget that, of course, there are millions and millions of talented people around you worldwide, but there are another hundreds of millions that are deprived. They don't have access to the same technology, data, information as you have. So never forget about others, because the same geniuses are not born in rich places. They can be born in a small village, somewhere unknown. So there is a duty to always remember about them. And the third point that I would like to add is that the new driver of our life, the young lady or the young man, of course, have to believe in themselves. They have to believe that you can be a startup and you can be successful, because this is a time of startups. This world is a startup because we are starting from scratch, and we're engaging in a new world, which is this quantum world, the world of not only the fourth industrial revolution, but a world that everything is not rapid, but rapid. But again, the same thing, because rapid is also very, very fast. It's very fast, interactive, interconnected. And you have to live with this strength of your soul that you can do it. Because the success is not only getting the right education, going to the right place, the right university, the right company, to be the vice president. You can be even not doing all of that, but you can become the founder of the Apple, of the Google, or the Facebook, and the sky is the limit. So believe in yourself. But is all of this enough? The knowledge, the data, the belief? I think no, there's also something which is very, very important. It's who you are your values, your human values, your faith, your culture. You have to know your culture very well. And we have to spend a lot of time by finding the talent and supporting the talent, but also making sure that this talent is becoming richer with the culture that you keep, that comes from your nation, from your family. Absolutely important. And values are important, because in the quantum world, like in quantum physics, you can have highly motivated particle, a man, a woman, or a positron, that is going forward with a high speed and hitting, let's say, nuclear material. So what can you get there? If the circumstances are right, you can get a nuclear reaction, which is controlled, and you get energy, which is probably... But if something is wrong with that in the nuclear reactor, you can get a disaster. But if from the day one it is designed as a bomb, then God help us. So that human energy, talent, genius can be both productive and counterproductive. And what protects us there is the values. The human values, the moral values, the values of knowledge of your history, of your culture, of your religion. Very, very important. Because I do believe that you can live in desert. You can create success, life in the desert. You can create knowledge and culture in the desert. But you cannot create life, success, knowledge in a moral and cultural desert. There is no way we can do that. What we can create, we will stay in this desert. If we don't support our education, our knowledge, our energy with morality and values. And with this, I would like to wish all of you success, and again thank Your Highness for your visionary global leadership. And I'm here to learn, because we are a young world, and the definition of being young in my system is not how old you are or how many years you have lived. You can live 20 years and you can be very, very old. But you can live 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, still young. And in my system, the definition of being young, if you live every day by learning something, if you live every day by teaching something or creating something, the moment you stop learning and innovating and creating, then you die. Maybe you will continue living physically, but you will die as a human being. So I see here in Qatar a young nation, and I see an audience who is young. So I wish everybody many, many years of young, nice, healthy life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.